Hi everyone. If you love cinnamon like I do, you're really gonna love this recipe. Today we are making snickerdoodles. So let's get started. So what you'll need, and don't worry about it, I'll have it all written down below, is 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup of vegetable oil, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Sometimes I put a little bit extra because I love cinnamon. And then you need the coating to roll the snickerdoodle dough into. So the coating is 1/4 cup of sugar with a teaspoon of cinnamon. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start with, and preheat your oven to 375. I forgot to mention that. So let's start with the oil. So we take the oil, start with the oil. So that's 1 cup of vegetable oil. Okay. And we mix that with the sugar, so 1.5 cups of sugar. And I like to stir that together. Again, almost like you're creaming it, but incorporating it. You would cream it more if it was butter, but we're using vegetable oil because I find it tastes so much better in this particular recipe. Okay. So once that's pretty mixed, we add eggs, the eggs and the vanilla. So we have 2 eggs here and a teaspoon of vanilla, and you can use any kind of vanilla extract. You can use the artificial vanilla, not a biggie. Okay. Let's mix that all together. And this is such an easy recipe. You're gonna find you're gonna be craving these sometimes. That's how good they are. And it's so quick to make. So why not make them? Now we add the flour. So 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Let's get that going slowly. This recipe doesn't require 2 bowls for the wet and the dry. Just one, which is great. Less dishes to wash, right? Okay. Then we add the baking soda, the salt, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and the 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. I think I put a little extra, but that's because I love cinnamon. Okay, mix that all together nice. Okay. Now at this point in time, it's like a bit of a dough. Sometimes I like to use my hands. That's the best thing. My hands are nice and clean. So let's use our hands. It's the best tool, right? Actually, before we get those dirty, let's do the coating. So for the coating, we take 1/4 cup of sugar with a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, plop that together in a bowl. Make sure your bowl is a bit wide enough so that you're able to roll, because you're going to end up rolling the cookies in these. So they end up having such a beautiful, glistening coating, which also gives them a lot of flavor. Okay, so once that's evenly incorporated, let's put that aside. And as always, don't forget to take a little, if you have parchment paper, use a little parchment paper on a cookie sheet. Parchment paper, a lifesaver. I use it for everything. Why would you want to scrub pans if you don't have to, right? Okay, so now let's just make sure everything's somewhat evenly incorporated. It doesn't have to be perfect. My recipes, they don't have to be perfect. You could tweak them a little bit. Still turn out amazing. So don't even worry about it. It's about having fun. Okay, so now that it's pretty much incorporated, it's gonna look like this. You see that? Oh, you see the cinnamon in there. Okay, so now's the fun part. You can even get your kids involved. So at this point in time, what I like to do is, I like to use a tablespoon, but you can use the regular spoon just for the size. It should be about a walnut size. Okay, so you take it, roll it. That's why the kids will have fun, because it's almost like Play-Doh. Roll it, then take your coating. Let's get rid of that. And what you do is you roll it in the coating so it's nice and covered. See that? And then place it onto your parchment paper and give it a little pat down. Okay, give it a little pat down so it's almost like a hockey puck. Let's do it one more time. So we take about a tablespoon. Sorry, this is a tablespoon. And roll it into a ball. Then take your coating, roll it into the coating so it sticks nice, evenly coated. Okay, once it's evenly coated, put it on your parchment paper and squish down a little bit. So it ends up being like, almost like a puck, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing this tray and put them in the oven. Bake for approximately 8 minutes at 375. Now, these taste better a tiny bit underdone. So once it starts getting up to the 8-minute mark, just give it a little peek through the glass or just open the oven just a little just to see, because you don't want these too dried out. That's why if you do them just a tiny, tiny bit underdone, they come out amazing, soft, chewy. You're gonna thank me. They are amazing. I only get compliments on these. Okay, so I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll show you when they're done. And again, once they're done, put them on top of the stove and put them, carefully use a spatula after they cool down for about, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes. Use a spatula, put them on a cooling tray and let them cool for about an hour and a half before you can start eating them. Okay? Hi, okay, so here they are all laid out on the cookie tray on parchment paper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stick these in the oven at 375 degrees and bake them for approximately 8 minutes. Like I said, you want them just a teensy bit underdone. You don't want them overdone because then they get dry and hard. In the meantime, I went ahead and I did balls with the rest of the batter. Again, I'm using a tablespoon to measure out the amount of dough. And once these are out of the oven, and I wait a minute and I put them on the cooling tray, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same parchment paper and I'm gonna roll the balls in the sugar and put them back on the tray carefully because it's probably gonna be hot. Smush them down and then put it back in the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then I'll show you the final result in a sec. Thanks. Oh, I just wanted to add that this particular batch makes 35 cookies, so it's a ton of cookies for one batch. And I just went ahead and started another tray because I'm gonna put 2 trays in at a time in my oven. And there's my oven, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in now. Thanks. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you what they look like as soon as they come out of the oven. And now I can go ahead, it's been about a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them onto the baking rack. Okay, and once they're fully cooled, I'll break one open to show you how delicious they look. And I wish you guys could smell it because it smells so amazing in the house. So cinnamony. I'll be right back. Okay, so I also just wanted to show you how I'm gonna go ahead and reuse the same parchment paper. So I'm gonna go take the balls that we did while we were waiting, and then again, roll them in the sugar, and just place them in the same spots that the other ones were in, okay? Okay, so after I'm done this, I'm just gonna go and stick this in the oven. One more thing I wanted to add, if you do run out of sugar, I ran out of sugar here because I guess I was too generous with the coating. Just go ahead and mix yourself up a little bit more sugar and cinnamon. Okay, this is the second batch that's done, and I'm waiting for one more batch. Okay, here you have them, our Snickerdoodle cookies. So that batch made 35 of them. And they smell and look amazing. I'm gonna crack open a cooled one to show you. Okay, so here we go. See? Nice and soft. Amazing. Amazing. Cinnamony, soft, delicious. Amazing. You have to try this. If you love cinnamon, you have to try this recipe. It makes 35 cookies so quickly, so amazing, so cinnamony, amazing. Well, I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos like this one. Love you all. Bye-bye.